First, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I did dye my hair. It was not supposed to be black. It was supposed to be dark brown. So yeah, I like it. It's just taking a little getting used to. Okay, so this video is going to be my affordable / drugstore makeup look. I'm actually going to try to step out of my comfort zone and use some more cool toned eyeshadows. So let's get started. I have a feeling it's going to be a long one. I'm going to pin my hair back. Oh, and this just will not let me be great, this one hair. Okay, so I am going to start with my eyes first, just because I have no idea what I'm going to do on my eyes, and I don't want it to be too dark and ruin my makeup on my face. So first I'm going to prime my eyelids with just a little bit of concealer. This is just the CoverGirl True Blend. I'm going to use shade Golden Amber. Just gonna do a couple dots. And then I'm gonna blend it out. This is the Real Techniques makeup sponge. And then I'm actually going to take the powder that I'm going to be using all over my face. This is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. This is just translucent. Ooh. Jesus. Okay. It's in my throat. It's in my throat. Okay, I'm going to set my eyes with the sponge, just so when I blend my eyeshadow, it won't kind of catch or look patchy. I'm gonna set this over here. Okay, so I have a couple palettes that I could use today. The first is this, the So Jaded palette by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I'm going to try to use some of these like cooler toned colors over here. So that's that one. I do have this ColourPop palette called Nude Mood. It looks like this. It's a little bit more warm, and I'm trying to stay away from that this time. I also have this Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette, and they're just shimmery. If I use this palette, I want to use the purple. And then I also have this really big NYX, the Swear By It palette, and see if I'll dip in here at any point. Okay, so I think first I'm going to use the ColourPop So Jaded palette. So I'm going to take, I think I'll just take the shade Rose Quartz. It's up here, that one there. It's not going to be super dark on my skin tone, but I'm going to start this and build it in the crease. This brush doesn't have a name. It's from BH Cosmetics. This is it's a number 5 brush. Doesn't really tell me what it's called. I'm just going to blend this shade in the upper crease, both eyes here. It's actually showing up more than I expected it to on my skin tone. And it's giving me that kind of like pinky undertone, which I guess is what I wanted, because I'm going to do the opposite of what I usually do. This is going to be more cool toned, not super warm. Okay, it almost looks lavender. That's funny. I'm just going to continue to build this until I can think about what I want to do next. I think I'm going to jump in the Swear By It palette, because the So Jaded palette, it's almost like there's only a few transition shades in here that I think would be good for a cool toned look. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm actually going to try to use this color up in the corner up here. See what this looks like. I'm going to use the same brush. This is kind of like a pinky color. Coming off a little bit like darker than the first shade I used. A little bit darker, going step by step is really a good thing if you don't know what your end result is gonna be. That's purple. I'm gonna take another brush and kind of soften the edges. This is another brush from the BH little brush kit that I got. This is completely clean brush. I'm just using it to kind of buff and blend the rest of this out. This look is going very lavender purple. Okay, I'm actually gonna take that brush I just used because it is a little smaller. I'm gonna jump into the, I always say jump. My brother said that I say jump too much, and I'm like, well, what am I supposed to say? I guess I could say I'm gonna dip back into, or I'm gonna scoot back into, or slide back into. I just wanna jump. I'm gonna jump back into this palette.
Okay,
So I'm gonna go into this color called Jasper. It looks kind of warm toned, but I think paired with this lavender-ish look that I've got going on, I think it'll be kind of okay. I'm gonna use this in the outer part of the eye and then blend it in the crease. You guys know I have to tilt my head all the way back to even see what I'm doing because I cannot raise my eyebrows and it's really annoying sometimes. But my forehead will continue to be smooth forever. Well, not forever, as long as I get Botox. This shade is not completely matte. In the pan, it looks like it has a satin finish, but on the eye, it plays just like a completely matte shade. Ooh, this is very purple. We're doing purple today, guys. I'm just gonna blend that on the lid, kind of just messily. And I can be as messy as I want because I don't have to be mindful of any eyeshadow falling out onto my face because I have nothing on my face. So when you're doing a more intense look or something super smoky, it's really smart to do your eye makeup first before anything else. That way you can blend really nicely, really smoothly on the edges, and then you don't have to worry about it messing anything up. I gotta manually erase my own eyelid with my hand. And I'm still using that same Jasper color, just blending it really well. Okay, I'm gonna jump back into, say jump again, Olivia, say it again. I'm going to go back into this first brush and just blend the edges. Interesting concept we got going on here. I think I wanna take it a little bit deeper. So I'm gonna get a smaller brush. I'm going to use this Luxie brush. It is the mini angled 131 brush, just a little angled brush, and I'm gonna go into this color in the So Jaded palette. It's called Stoned, right there, just to kind of deepen the outer corner a little bit more. And I'm gonna lift my eyelid and I'm gonna put it close to the lashes in the outer corner area. This is like a cool toned brown, like a deep color. I really like it. When I do cool toned looks, which is not very often, I do grab this because it's just a nice tone. It's not too gray. It's like a really nice chocolate brown, but more cool toned. All right, I'm gonna leave the upper lid at that for a minute while I decide what color I wanna put on the lid. There's a beautiful shade in the ColourPop palette. It's called Fluorite, right here. I really like that shade, but I also really like this light lavender sparkly shade in the Jungle Lights Flower Beauty palette up here. So I'm actually gonna swatch both. Ooh, that's intense. Wow. Look at that swatch. These feel almost wet. Like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I really also like Fluorite too though, because it almost has like a duochrome purpley green color or shift. It's really different. So I think for this look, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the Fluorite color, which is the one that doesn't look as intense, and I'm going to press it on my inner part of my lid with my finger. I love putting on shimmers with my finger, and I'm gonna see what that looks like. I mean, I like that kinda. I kinda like that. Let me go to the other side. I wonder if I spray my finger. I'm gonna take this Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is pretty good. I'm gonna actually pick some up. I'm gonna spray my finger. Oh, I'm completely missing my finger here. And I'm gonna see if that makes it more intense. Kind of, but not really. Let's try again. Oh yeah, it does kind of. I don't know if you guys can see. My finger's still damp and I'm gonna put it over on this side and see. I'm really gonna kind of stamp it in the inner corner as well because I have to use this other shade. I'm just gonna use it as like a topper. This other purple just looks like regular purple, but it has like a black color. It's right there. It has a black color under it, like a deep color. So I don't think that's what I'm looking for today. Now my hands are all dirty. All right, I got a wipe. We're good, we're good. Take these off my hand, keep it moving. I am gonna use that lighter purple, I think. Not as intense, I'm just gonna like press it on my lid. So I'm just gonna dip it, kind of pat, so it's not a whole lot on my finger. And I'm gonna just press it into my lid. Ooh, that's pretty, so pretty. I need a mirror, like an up close mirror. Wow, I love that. I'm actually gonna kind of put the sparkly up higher here just because I want the sparkles to be seen when I have my eyes open. That's what you have to do when you have a hooded eyelid. I'm gonna use this makeup wipe and I'm gonna clean up all of the fallout that fell under my eyes, because I think I'm gonna leave my eyes just like they are for now. And I almost said jump again. I'm gonna start on the face. All right, it's interesting for me. I think it's pretty though. Okay, let's get started on the face. Make sure I don't have any glitter on my hands, because that's not gonna be good. Okay, for primer, I am going to be using the NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer. This is so good from the drugstore. Guys, I love drugstore makeup, you know, like some of it is starting to get really expensive, but I think it's because the quality is like getting so good from the drugstore. This is just like a white cream. I'm gonna rub this all over. This doesn't really mattify. It's more of like a smoothing, perfecting, makes your skin super soft. So I'm gonna put that everywhere. And then I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. It's just a white cream. And I'm gonna put this in my T-zone. Kind of on my nose. I start to get oily on my nose, and then like above my eyebrows and in between them. Okay. I am going to use one of my favorite drugstore foundations. This is the L'Oreal True Match. I've used this for so long. This is the shade W7 Caramel Beige. So I think this might be a little too dark. I have W6 Sun Beige too, and I might have to mix them. So let's see. I'm gonna pour a little bit out on my hand. When you have an olive skin tone, it is so hard to find any foundation, let alone drugstore foundation, that matches you. Oh, that came out fast. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I got a lot. I'm gonna mix them. I just use the end of a brush. There is sparkles all over my hand, so we might be looking a little luminous today. I would rather my foundation be too light than too dark, but we'll see what this looks like. All right, I'm gonna go back into my Real Techniques sponge, and we're just gonna put this everywhere. It might be a little light. I can always bronze up my face. That is my favorite part of makeup, is bronzer. It looks like it matches pretty good. And I really take my time blending out my foundation. I might actually have to mix more. My sponge is soaking up a lot. I've just been using that powder foundation so much that I forget what it's like to put on a liquid with a sponge, because it soaks up a lot of it, but the finish is so pretty. I love it. I'm gonna kind of drag it down my neck just a little bit. That way we don't have any distinction line here. That's a pet peeve of mine. I hardly have any on my forehead, but I don't need a lot of coverage on my forehead. I need most coverage in my cheeks here. So I kind of just take what's left and spread it. Okay, I think I'm going to build it up just a little bit. I'm going to take more of the darker shade just to warm my skin up a little bit. And I'm just going to kind of put it in my sponge and kind of go like this. And just build up the coverage just a little bit on my cheeks. My mom thought it was a good idea to vacuum right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you do, I'm so sorry. Okay, that was a lot of blending, but that's a good thing. You're always supposed to blend very thoroughly. So I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealers. They look like this, but their shade range sucks, honestly. So I might actually use the CoverGirl True Blend concealer under my eyes. I'm looking a little dark under there though, so I actually might jump into my dark circle corrector. This is by NYX. Gonna stick with affordable makeup this time. So this is the NYX dark circle corrector. This is the shade medium. This is really more orange than the other one that I used in my last video. I just take a little bit on my finger and I just pop it in the inner part of my eye here, in the inner corner. It's especially good to make sure your under eyes are super bright when you're using like purpley pink tones, because it can make you look sick do that. And then I'm gonna jump in with this. I think jump in is just what I have to say. It just comes out the most natural. So we're gonna jump in to this concealer. Oh, I like that. It's a yellow toned. I think that's what my face was missing. This L'Oreal True Match is a little bit more neutral pink, even though it's part of the warm section. Gonna put this around the nose. Gonna kind of snatch that up there on the side of my eyes. And then I'm gonna put some on the chin. Then we're gonna blend. I leave the concealer under my eyes to sit a little bit longer. That way it kind of dries down a little bit and you get more coverage that way. I'll blend out this down my nose. And then I'm going in under the eyes. Gotta be careful around the eye area where your eyeshadow is. I'm gonna take a little brush and blend the innermost corner where the concealer is because I don't want to mess up the inner part of my eye. This is another brush from that BH Cosmetics little set I have, and I'm gonna take it and really blend in the corner. Okay, kind of want to take some more concealer and kind of just go a little bit under where I would contour. I like to reverse contour more than I actually like to contour, so I'm gonna take my sponge and kind of blend that down and up. And once I put on my bronzer, I'll clean under it again with some powder and it'll really look cut and snatched. All right, back in with this powder. I'm gonna put some in the lid. Ooh. This stuff smells like old lady, but it works really well. Make sure everything is blended nice, and I'm gonna go in with my sponge and stamp. And I'm gonna bake. That way, nothing under my eyes creases. So a lot of you don't know that I work at Ulta Beauty. I've worked there for about 4 years, 4.5 now, I believe. So this makeup look would be something that I would wear to work. It's not my everyday, but when I go to Ulta, it gives me that chance to just play. So this is a look that I would wear to work there. Not at the hospital, but at Ulta. All right, I'm gonna let that bake for a little while and then we will wipe it off. Okay, while that is baking, I'm gonna set the rest of my face with this powder. I will always set my face. For a while there, I had really dry skin. I took Accutane for acne, and it makes your skin super dry. But even when my skin was dry, I still powdered, and I just use more hydrating products. Now that I'm oily, I like to go ham on the powder in my eyebrows because I do get like oily there, shiny. Okay, I don't bake for super long, so I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this away from my eyes. And it just smooths your skin out. This powder is like $5 or $6, I believe. And I usually get it at Walmart or Drug Mart, and you can't beat it. It is so smoothing. I look super powdery, super matte right now. But once I finish up with the rest of my face and the rest of my eye makeup and I spray with a setting spray, it brings life back into the skin and it lasts all day. So now I'm gonna use some bronzer. I have a few here that I could probably use. You guys know about this one. I've used it in my last 2 videos. It's the Essence Bronzing Powder Palette. Looks like that. I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I used to use this all the time. This is in the deepest one. And I also have, this is so dirty, the NYX Matte Bronzer. This is an old bronzer and it's warm. So I think I'm gonna start out with the butter bronzer because it has a little bit of a sheen to it and I wanna look more glowy. So I'm gonna dip in here and really start massaging that in the skin, in the areas where I want to bronze. I would put bronzer all over my face if I could. This is my favorite part of makeup, is bronzer. Both sides of my nose. I like bronzer all over the face. And then I'm gonna use that powder and clean it up under here to make me look more snatched. Really blending in that bronzer so it doesn't look muddy. Okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of the NYX one just because it's a little bit more warm. Just a bit. kind of just touch, just a touch. All right, just like that. Okay, I'm looking, I think I want to do my brows next. I'm gonna step away from the face for a minute, and I'm gonna jump into my brows. This is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. This is black. I'm only gonna use a real little bit of it. I don't need a whole lot. It has a super small tip. So let's see what this looks like. Might need to use a little bit more of a brunette. I also have the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in dark brunette. So we'll see. I'm gonna use this more towards the mid to the end of the brow. That color's not too bad. Matches pretty good. It's not like super pigmented or soft. I like more of a waxy brow pencil, so that way it doesn't look too messy when I put it on. Okay, I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna brush my brows down. I'm gonna do the same thing on the top, just outline them. I feel like I always have one good brow and one crappy brow. Like, this is my bad brow today. It needs to stop acting up. This brow over here, though, she's looking good. You know what? I'm over it. I'm not doing any more to them. It'll do. Okay, I'm gonna take some powder and cut under my contour just to further shape the face. I'm actually gonna contour this side of my nose. Sorry, reverse contour, which just means powder. This nose ring is gonna be in the way, but it is what it is. You guys tell me if you like my setup. I love using natural light to do my makeup just when I'm doing my makeup on my own, but I know sometimes it can be frustrating to watch people who use natural light because the sun will come in and out, but I mean, it makes sure that I use the right color foundation, because this is what I'm gonna look like if you were to see me in person. That's why I do my makeup in natural lighting, so that way I can make sure I don't look orange, and everything looks good and blended. So I have always loved to do my makeup in natural lighting. So I just sit in front of my window here. Let's do some blush. So I'm actually really excited to try this. This is the Wet n Wild Ombre blush. This is in the shade In a Purple Haze. That's what the packaging looks like, but it's a purpley blush. I actually ordered it off of Ulta, and it came, ooh, oh, okay. Jumped out of there. It came broken. I didn't realize that the whole thing was about to just fall out. All right, cool. I'm gonna have to use some glue and glue her back in there. I'm gonna try this to see what it looks like. I don't know that it'll show up on my skin tone, but I'm doing a purple look, so we'll see if my cheeks. Ooh, no ma'am. No ma'am.
No ma'am.
That was ashy as a mug. No ma'am. So we're gonna, I'm gonna need, oh, no. Okay. I'm actually, change of plans, I'm gonna use the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. It's a pretty peachy color. I'm gonna clean my brush off on my pants. This has a really pretty shimmer to it. Not shimmer necessarily, more of a sheen. My cheeks look ashy. It's really sad. Okay, I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry. Okay, this is the Makeup Revolution, the matte blush in the shade Beloved. This is just like a pink blush, and I have a feeling she is going to save me. I hope that she will save me. Okay, there's a little more color there. I am shining though. That first blush did me dirty. I'm gonna blush my nose. I like to take my blush all the way to the back here. We're just gonna look real glowy today. I love Luminoso on a lot of people, but when I have a tan, I don't see the peachy color, you know, underneath. I just see the shimmer, but I tried it. Did not work very well, but we're gonna keep it moving. So I'm gonna swipe that powder off, and then we're gonna work on the lower lash line of the eyes. All right, I'm gonna hop, skip, jump back into the ColourPop So Jaded palette. I'm gonna take the stoned color again here. I'm gonna take a small definer brush, just like this one, it has a flat edge. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH43. I'm gonna dip into stoned and push it up against the lash line, the lower lash line. All right, okay, now I'm gonna use the shade Jasper. All right, this is the Luxie Mini Flat Angled 111 brush. She looks like that. I'm gonna go back into Jasper here, and I'm going to blend that shade out down here. Might need to use some more of that lavender mauvey shade, because on the lower lash line it looks more warm. And we're not doing warm. We're not doing warm. All right, I'm gonna go back into the Rose Quartz shade. This is another BH Cosmetics brush from a set that I got a long time ago. It's number 10. It's a pencil brush. This is that first shade. Sorry, I didn't show you. This is that first shade I was using at the very beginning. Okay, that helped to make it more lavender. I actually might want to use that shade that was like super bright. I might want to put a little bit of that on the lower lash line to make it pop. This is the BH Cosmetics number 12 brush. Looks like that. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this. These are so soft, it's like paint almost. I'm gonna spray my brush. And I'm gonna use my little mirror. And I'm actually gonna put it like right here in the lower lash line just to give it a pop. Somebody is mowing their grass. Scooping a little bit and putting it on the back of my hand to create kind of like a cream shadow to see if that will make it more intense. Ooh, yes, yes. Okay, the other eye. A little sparkle there. Ooh, I like this. Sparkly. Here, got a little chunky, a little too chunky. I'm gonna use just another pencil brush and try to spread that a little bit. There we go, that's better. Okay, I'm gonna use a black kohl liner in my waterline. This is by LA Girl. It's just, it doesn't tell me it's called, but it is in shade Very Black. It's just a kohl liner. I'm going to take my sponge and hold down my eye, put this in the waterline. Just smoke her out a little bit. Actually, also going to take this pencil and build it up on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take that flat definer brush from earlier, get some on there, and I'm going to stamp it and smudge it on the upper lash line to create more depth and definition, just to add some more smoke. Some more, I'm gonna do it on the other eye. I'm gonna build up some more because it kind of sets down a little bit. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go back into that shade that I put on the lid first that didn't pop enough, Fluorite here. And I'm going to take a small brush. This is the Luxie 245 small shader brush. Looks like that. I'm gonna dip in and put that on the inner corner. Okay, that's not giving me the shine I want. So, all right, I'm gonna use this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Ladybird. She looks like that, super pretty and sparkly. I'm gonna dip into her and kind of put that on the inner corner just to make it pop. My finger, that might be the problem. I'm gonna take my pinky and do that. Ooh, yeah, she's sparkly. Kind of take this to blend it. A little bit got on my face, so I'm gonna take my big brush with the translucent powder and just swipe it off the cheeks. All right, let's do a little bit of highlight. I have a few here. I have the Milani. This was the Luminoso Glow palette. It looks like this. It's more warm, but I think on the cheeks it might be okay. So I'm going to first I think I'm just gonna mix a few of them together just to see what they look like. And I'm gonna use this Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH07 brush. Again, you guys know I keep telling you I like a more fluffy highlighter brush, just really blend it into the skin. I'm gonna use this and I'm gonna put one on top of it too, because I wanna glow today. All right, this is the NYX High Glass Illuminating Powder. Looks like that. And this is in the shade Daytime Halo. Guys, I gotta use a golden highlight. I need a little bit of warmth in my life. really buff that into the skin, down the nose. All right, and to really make things pop, I'm gonna go into the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in Flexitarian. This baby is blinding. This is what I should have used on my inner corner. I'm gonna take some and just use my finger and blend her out a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna do this on the other side as well. I can't really go super intense with this because my skin is a little too deep for it, but I gotta use it today. And I'm gonna blend out the edges. I'm actually gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in my inner corner because more is more and I want more because we are being intense today. Okay, I'm looking at my face. Before I set it, I wanna make sure everything is the intensity that I want. So I'm not gonna take some more of this pink blush because I told you I like blush and it's the first to fade. I'm gonna put it on my nose and really blend her. Then I'm going to drench my face in setting spray and then I'm gonna do my eyes. Or I'm sorry, my mascara. I'm gonna do my mascara after I set the face. So first I'm going to use this Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I know I said I'm oily, but when I have this much powder and makeup on, I definitely want to make my skin look like skin again. So we're gonna use this on the outside of the face. And this has a little bit of like a sheen through it, but it just makes the skin look like skin again. I needed more. Okay, don't hate me. I'm gonna use this Morphe Continuing Setting Mist. It is affordable, okay? It's just not at the drugstore. Like I said, this stuff is affordable makeup. The majority of it is from the drugstore. So I'm gonna use this to further set my face. That's better. Gonna dry off, and then I'm gonna do my mascara. Move all this junk, bring my mirror closer, and then I'm going to use my mascara. Today I'm going to use the Falsies Lash Lift. I just used this in my last tutorial. It's my favorite drugstore mascara right now, but this is my OG #1 favorite. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. I love this. So I'm going to take my eyelash curler and do what I did before. Do it at your own risk. Heat it up. Wave it out and curl, pulsate. Same thing over here. Wave it out, pulsate. I'm gonna do it again and last time. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the the Maybelline one. The wand looks like that. And I'm gonna wiggle it into my lashes and make them thick and big to match the intensity of this eye look that we did today. Remember, if you get any on your skin, leave it alone, let it dry, and then it'll flake right off. So that's about one coat. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit and then I'm gonna go in for a second coat. A lot of people would say with an intense look like this, it would be nicer to wear false eyelashes. I hardly ever wear them because my eyelashes are long, and when I do my little trick and heat up my eyelash curler, they stay long and defined and dark all day. So I don't like messing with false lashes if I don't need to. This mascara is so good. It builds on itself really well. Okay. Now I'm going to jump into the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. That's a smaller brush, but I'm telling you, it is great. And I'm just going to pile on more mascara. I'm going to use the L'Oreal one on my lower lashes as well. Okay. Let that dry a little bit. Let the mistakes dry, and then I'm going to scrape them off. Last steps. I'm going to wipe off my lips. I had a little bit of lip balm on. We're going to figure out what lip is going to look the best with this cool tone look. Try to make them a little bit more neutral, not so pink. First, I have to start with my favorite lip liner ever. This is by Rimmel. It is the shade Tiramisu. I use this all the time. So I'm gonna just line my lips with it just to give myself a starting point. Okay, let's try this one. My mom used to use this lip liner all the time. Like, I remember her using this lip liner when I was younger, and I always remembered it because the number is 666. But this is the Wet n Wild lip liner. New packaging. This is like extremely long, but this is in the shade Brandy Wine. Just a pencil liner. And we're gonna use this. Let's see what I come up with. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cinnamon Roll. I love these. I have used butter glosses for years. This is like a purpley color. It's definitely more nude. Ooh, I kind of like that. Okay, last but certainly not least, always have to set my eyebrows. This is the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. I always use a clear brow gel. I think it just really makes my brows look the most natural. And here comes the sun. I want more bronzer, naturally. I know I already set my face, but I needed it. Okay, I'm going to clean myself up and show you the final look. All right, let's do a shake. Okay guys, this is the look we came up with. This is like a purpley, definitely cool toned, sparkly, kind of sultry look. I'm super happy with it. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do because you guys know I love my warm tones, but I really, really like it. Some standout products for me, definitely this purple sparkly shadow that I have all over my lid and under my eyes, under here. I absolutely love my bronzer, my highlights, mascara, brow products. I have not used those in a long time, and I really like the black pencil now that I have black hair. Obviously, I love the lip products. Foundation, it's been a while since I've used it. I like it. Some real misses for me today was this Wet n Wild blush. It's not for my skin tone. I wanted it to be, but I'm a little too tan for this. It made me look ashy. And I really don't like this eyeliner pencil that I use. It's not staying in my waterline. It is smudging or like moving. So it's not as black as it was before, but I mean, I think it was only a couple bucks. I'll say most of this stuff I've used. A couple things were new to me, but yeah, I think I made it all work. I like the look that I came up with. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.